As today, we're going to be taking a look at what we're going to be planting in the buckets. We're going to start with, and there's reasoning behind all of these, and this is what's called the Four Sisters, and it is companion planting. I don't know how well this is going to grow in a bucket, but I'm going to give it a try because it's what I have right now. I don't have any raised beds, but so we're going to start with corn. So we're going to be putting in some sweet corn. This is Golden Queen. It takes about 90 days to fully mature. So we're going to plant the corn first. It's kind of like, there's a reason for each of these and why they work together, but we're going to go with corn. Then we're going to plant a sunflower in there. So we're going to have a corn stalk and a sunflower in the same bucket. And these are the Mammoth Russian. And these you know, they make like foot-long flowers. And so there's and I'm going to explain the reasons behind all of these. And this one takes 75 days to mature. And then next we're going to be putting in some green beans. These are pole variety. These take 62 days to reach maturity. But, and again, I'll explain the reason. And then we're going to put in some spaghetti squash. It's one of my family's favorite squashes. Okay, and so these are going to be in one bucket. And so I'm going to pretty much do like one corn, one sunflower, two beans, and one or two squashes per bucket. That's the idea. So basically, how this works is the corn and the sunflower, they produce stalks for the green beans to climb on. So the green beans use these to support themselves. The sunflower works to bring in pollinators. The green beans are a nitrogen fixing plant, so they fix the soil so that the others can grow healthy. And then the winter squash here, the spaghetti squash, the way that the leaves, you know, they get like very large, beautiful leaves, which actually provides a cover for the soil, which prevents weeds and certain harmful insects to come into play. So, and then the other thing we're going to be planting near them, but not necessarily in the same bucket, are some marigolds. These are the Queen Sophia, and the marigolds, they have two effects. They do have an oil that they secrete that repels harmful insects. However, their blossoms will attract good insects, and so the marigolds are going to work in conjunction with these, but not in the same pot, because all of these are going to be in the same bucket, and the marigolds are going to be separately. So that's one thing that we're doing today. About the Four Sisters, however, we are going to be doing some additional companion planting. And we're going to start with these two. So we are going to be using a couple buckets. We're going to be planting some tomatoes as well as some basil. So tomatoes have a lot of uses. They're a really great fruit. And basil, I mean, fresh basil is fantastic. And, you know, it really enhances the flavor of so many dishes. And it's not just about eating in survival. It's about, you know, making the food taste good. So that's going to be, we're going to do a couple buckets of those. And then, of course, especially since my family can't seem to eat unless it is super hot. So we are going to be planting some jalapenos. And then with the jalapenos, we're going to be planting one of my wife's favorite spices, which is the cilantro. She loves cilantro and everything. So we spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money on these three items right here. So hopefully we can start saving some money and actually have, you know, a fresher, healthier, more tasty product. Okay, and then lastly, probably maybe only like one bucket, but I do want to try this. I'm not sure how well they grow, but I'm going to do some eggplant and some peppermint. Peppermint, it's great for teas. It's an herb that has a lot of fantastic uses to it. You know, you can flavor so much stuff with it, and you know, you dry the leaves out, and you can make tea leaves with it. So you can make some herbal tea that is good, especially if you have a cold or something, because the mint always seems to the oils of the mint help, you know, clear up your breathing and stuff. So, and then so we're going to be doing a couple of these, one of these. So it's like 2, 4, 5, and then we're going to be doing maybe 2 of these, and then the rest we're going to be doing our Four Sisters. So now, along with the marigolds, the mint and the cilantro will help repel harmful insects. And the cilantro and the basil will actually help flavor the tomato and the jalapenos. So they're the way that they, when they grow together, so it'll help with that. And then of course, in the background, of course, is always going to be our marigolds, which has, you know, multiple uses. So, and so we've already talked about how these all work together. And then of course, I am going to come up with a drip irrigation system so that we can water these a lot more efficiently, as well as I need to come up with a good way to build a water collection system. And in fact, I mean, I know that, you know, I'm in Texas, and Texas is very water collection friendly, unlike some states where they want to charge you. So it's not something I'm going to have to worry about. But ideally, I want to be able to catch and save as much water as possible. We don't get a lot of rain here, but when we do get it, sometimes it'll rain a lot real fast. And if I can, you know, and the thing is if I can collect even 5 gallons of water, then that's 5 gallons of water that can go straight back to the plants. And of course, while it's raining, it's going to be able to water anyway. And of course, when I do build my PVC pipe, you know, system with the buckets, I'm already putting in my head how I'm going to set it up. So there'll be a container so I can turn it on, let the water fill up, and then just turn it off when we're done watering. So, so we're going to be doing that. And then, and the reason for all of this, and why I am highlighting this on my channel, because, you know, survival and prepping. Well, when you are thinking about survival, you know, a lot of people, they're going to spend thousands of dollars on those, you know, ReadyWise or 4Patriots, you know, food buckets. And, you know, a lot of people on YouTube, they're going to let you know, hey, you're lacking nutrition with those. Those are not the best way to rely on food. And whereas I do agree with that, if that's your sole source that you're thinking about food, there's a lot of flaws in it. One, it's limited, because once that food's gone, the food's gone. So you have to have a way to replace it. And another thing is, you know, the nutrition factor of it, and it takes up a lot of space. So, but on the flip side, I do see benefits of having, you know, possibly a year supply of those food buckets, because they have things in there that you can't necessarily grow or come up with on your own. You know, like you have like your flavored rices, you know, your flavored pastas and stuff like that, and having that safety net of having some food that you can get some calories in your body so you can keep pushing forward is a great thing. But it's limited. And if you can augment that with by being able to grow your own fruits and vegetables, be able to grow your own nuts. If you have canned goods set aside too, you know, you have your canned goods, so you have your canned meats, you have your canned, you know, your canned vegetables and stuff. That's a great safety net. However, if you're able to figure out a way to crack the code wherever you live and start growing plants, you know, start growing fruits and vegetables. Like, you know, if we're able to effectively grow enough green beans that we can can them, you know, so we have some while they're fresh, but then the ones that we're not eating, we can for longer term. Well, if you're getting it to where, you know, you're canning more than you're eating, then you've come up with a way to effectively replace your canned goods in your pantry. Same thing. The corn, especially this one. You know, this one is good for this corn is good for canning, for freezing. So if you're getting a good crop, well, now you can actually make a long-term type of food storage. You know, you can with the jalapenos, you can pickle the jalapenos, you can can the tomatoes. You can bring your herbs indoors and you have them healthy, so you can keep producing your herbs here. And you know, and there's going to be nutritional in all the herbs anyway, because you're going to be getting, you know, something into your body. So I'm not really sure how well eggplant. I don't know if you can can eggplant or anything, but yeah, it doesn't really say. But I mean, but if you have like fresh that you can eat. Oh, winter squash, right? Winter squash, you know, this is a very sturdy, durable gourd. You know, you can store these if you store these correctly, you get enough crop, they're going to last you all winter long. So you have a way. That's why you have summer squash and winter squash. But you have ways here to start producing food that you can, and then so now you're not only are you eating fresher, healthier food while you're eating, but you can start canning your own foods, and you can start making, like, if you get some, like, if we were able to grow some fruits here, like, I want to plant, like, some apple trees, some orange trees or something. Well, then you're talking about making like jellies and jams and applesauce, and so we're going to be able to start replenishing every aspect of our pantry every year. So you're eating better, fresher food. What you have a better idea of what's in it and what's on it. We really don't know what's in the air or what's in the ground, but but this right here, at least we know that we're not doing anything lab based to make them. We're growing them ourselves, so at least it's not going through any processing. And so this is a way that you can replenish your fruits and vegetables. Now, if you have chickens, now you're going to have a steady egg source, so you don't have to pay for eggs. As the chickens get older, you can butcher them, and then so now you have some chickens you can boil. So you're gonna be able to and possibly can. So so you can replenish your meat, you can replenish your vegetables. If you grow some potatoes, the potatoes that I grew last year they weren't seed worthy. So we had some beautiful plants, but no potatoes produced out of them. So you have to make sure you get seed potatoes, and if they're non-GMO, and these are allegedly all non-GMO vegetables. So these are heirloom, they're non-GMO. So when these go to seed, we'll be able to grow more from these. And so that's kind of an important thing when you're thinking about long-term prepping and survival. You want stuff that you can produce and you can keep seeding from year to year. And so I know that's what my grandpa did. He wasn't buying seeds every year. They would actually they would keep seeds, and so they were able to repopulate and replenish their garden using their garden. And one, it's a lot healthier because where everything's coming from. So but anyway, yeah, so that's it. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna get a lot of this into the buckets. We're gonna get this stuff going on, and then we will. I'm gonna video that. So we're gonna go through the whole process, and then that video will go up tomorrow. Today we're gonna be putting this video up, and then tomorrow we're gonna show you the process, and then periodically. A lot of these things, we should start seeing the germination start taking effect in like a week or so. So about mid next week, we should start seeing some seedlings sprout up. And then, so we're going to check out the buckets in a week. We'll do a quick walkthrough of that. And then after that, we're just going to do like weekly or bi-weekly updates on how the garden's doing. If it dies, it dies. But hopefully I've come up with a way to keep this stuff growing. We've gotten tomatoes before, so I know that the tomatoes. I know that I can get tomatoes to grow. So we've had tomatoes to go. I had a lot of these I had sprouted, but I didn't transplant them because I messed up. And so I didn't get them in the ground soon enough. So I know a lot of these will sprout here, and now it's just a matter of keeping them alive. And that's the code that you have to crack, whatever area you live in. And so this year, I got a good feeling this year. I don't know how well these are going to do in a container, having four different plants in one container, but I think it'll be okay. Because again, the roots are going to be sharing the same subsystem, but you've got the green beans to help keep the soil nitrogen, with plenty of nitrogen, because they're a nitrogen fixing plant. And you figure these ones, the squash is going to grow out of the buckets and produce outside of the buckets. The sunflower produces on the top of the stalk, the corn produces on the top of the stalk, and the green beans are going to climb. Ideally, the green beans are going to be producing around the stalks of the sunflowers and the corn. So hopefully this works out good. But with that, we're going to get these in the dirt, and we'll be bringing you what's going on after that. So, hey, if this is your first time on the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It'd be a big help. We're up to like 405 subscribers now. So we are growing slowly but surely. We are growing. I'm going to keep bringing you videos no matter what. So those of you that keep coming back, I appreciate it. But most of my viewers are new viewers, so hey, if you keep coming back, you may as well just hit that subscribe button, whether it's for my subscription boxes, whether it's for my gear reviews, whether it's going to be for this planting stuff, whether you come here for the fishing aspect of it. It all wraps into being self-sufficient. Yeah, I mean, the subscription boxes are just fun, but they add to everything else, and but we're hoping to have some good crop this year, and we're gonna do everything we can to keep these suckers alive, and then we'll be bringing you that path as we go. So, but all right, yeah, hey, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. That'd be a big help. Leave me a comment. If you've planted any of this stuff in the desert, hey, leave me a comment, please. If there's something you've done to successfully grow any of these in the desert, I would love your comments and feedback, because that's going to help me. And then, and again, when it comes to this type of thing, survival and prepping, the more we help each other, each of us are going to be stronger in the long run. So, all right, until next time, keep prepping.